Tuesday tea time with Dorarena and Teresa tonight, right?
Yes, happy to be here.
Yeah, and we are starting the New Year's out right tonight. And so we want to welcome you to Tuesday Tea Time. And I always like to introduce our tea. We're doing a kind of a new tea tonight. It's called ginger peach.
Yeah, put it up to the
turmeric.
Turmeric,
Right.
There
There you go. Yes. And so we hope that you have your cup. I told Teresa, no, you can't use this cup.
I already knew. I already knew what cups I'm allowed to use.
Right.
And the special cups that she has. Don't even touch it. You'll get rebuked.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
We're not going to go there.
Right. So we want you to fill your cup up with lots of wisdom tonight. All right.
Yes.
Tea time. Oh, this is good.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't think you put enough honey in here.
Oh,
Did we put the honey?
I did. I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did. I already know.
Oh, that's good. So if you like peach and you like ginger and turmeric, you will like this tea.
Yes, it is very good.
Yes. And so tonight, look, what we're going to talk about. Okay, so listen. Now, we're starting out 2024. And this topic that we're starting out on is a topic that you need to apply to your life all year long.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So this is going to benefit you. So here we go.
Hearing versus listening.
Yes. All right. And I was thinking earlier today, about that saying that says selective hearing. And I was thinking, it probably should say selective listening. Because hearing, in its definition, let's share that with you. Read this together with us. The definition of hearing involves the physiological process of receiving sound. Okay. Now, the definition of listening revolves around actively paying attention to observe what is being heard.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. So, a lot of us, we sometimes have selective listening. Because I don't know about you, but I know how I used to be in my days. It was like, I don't want to hear that.
Right. Or hearing. Have you heard the phrase, you hear with people don't listen with the intent to respond. They listen to respect with the intent to understand. They listen because they want to respond.
Yeah, right,
yes.
right. Yes, because we was going to talk a little bit about that tonight anyway, too, because we know that that's true. It's all about sometimes we're thinking, how do I rebuttal?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you want to argue your own point. You don't want to understand what the other person is trying to say.
Right. And you know what? That is detrimental to having a good relationship with people.
Yes.
And really, if you think about yourself, I'm going to go here. I'm going to say, what about having a relationship with your own self? Sometimes our insides be telling us, right?
Yes.
And we don't want to hear it. I'm not listening to that. We want to give the hand. I
want to do what
I want to do. Talk to the hand, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yep. And it ends up being more trouble than what we intended.
Exactly. Especially when you have relationships with people, when you're not actively listening to them. If you're just hearing, it's all about you. And it's all about what you want. When in a relationship, if there's good communication, you're looking out for the other person. You're trying to understand where they're coming from and their point of view, so you can actively serve them well. Right.
And that's love.
Yes.
Okay. So all that other stuff is just selfishness.
Exactly.
But, we need to really learn how to listen. There's an art to listening.
Yes.
And, part of it is just learning how to pay attention to what the other person is saying,
right.
So that we could, like she said, gain understanding and not just throw out a quick answer or a quick rebuttal,
right,
just to win the argument.
Exactly.
Come on now, I know we're talking to some people out there now. Okay, so that I got some things I want to share with you. So look at this. Wisdom is listening, okay? And that involves receiving, understanding, evaluating, and responding.
Wow.
Right.
It's step-by-step process.
Right. Yes, right.
Yes.
So if you want to take a what they call a screenshot of it, so you remember this is the wisdom in listening, and so you'll know how to listen correctly.
Yes.
Because you'd be surprised at things that you have to practice in life, to do life correctly.
Yes.
And these are some things that you can put into practice that will definitely help you move in whatever area of success that you want in life, in relationships, businesses, just general relationships,
Yes.
So, yeah.
I mean, you said relationships. Okay. You think about relationships. One of the key points or key foundations that you need to have in a relationship is good communication.
That's
whether
true.
That's a friendship, whether that's with family members, whether that's with a spouse or a significant other, you need to know how to communicate.
That's true.
Because if you don't know how to communicate with the other person or express how you're feeling or whatever, and you don't trust that other person is a good listener, you're not going to communicate with them.
Right.
Because they're not going to listen to you anyway. But when you're actively practicing those skills to know how to be a good listener, you've opened yourself up for that other important person in your life to be able to come to you.
Right.
And be able to express themselves, and you can cultivate your relationship in that way.
Yes. So receiving, understanding, evaluating, and responding.
Yes.
Oh, without any of those, you're going to lack wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I always like to share a quote with you, and we do have a couple of quotes that we're going to share tonight. One is this: the difference between hearing and listening is paying attention. Wow. That is so simple.
Wow. One of them, the definition you said before about how hearing involves just the natural function of your ears, but listening involves your brain.
Right, exactly. Paying attention. And some of us, we need to really practice at paying attention. Sometimes, we just think that, well, I don't really want to pay attention. Well, you need to deal with your want to, because if you want people to pay attention to you when you're speaking, you need to learn how to pay attention to other people when they're speaking, because it's not right that you would expect one thing from someone else and not expect them to expect the same thing from you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's do right. Let's do life right. 2024, because the more that you do right things will happen for you. It just works like that.
Yes. And I think when it comes to listening to somebody, I mean, I can admit sometimes if somebody's talking to me, my mind will start to wander.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about what I'm getting ready to go eat. I'm thinking about the laundry, this, that, and that. But that paying attention piece, and really to pay attention to someone is to put value on them, because you're valuing what they say.
Right.
And it's a choice to value somebody.
Right.
People
that's true.
It's a choice.
That's true.
It absolutely is a choice. And we can make that decision when people are talking to us, because people can sense, just because I'm looking at you,
right.
I know if you're listening to me or not.
Right. Yes. Yeah, because when you look into and let me say this before I say that. When you're speaking, it's very important that you give eye contact. We were taught to if you gave eye contact, it was disrespectful. But we need to relearn that and understand that eye contact is a contact of trust.
Yes.
When you can look people in the eye, because now other cultures, when you don't look them in the eye, they think that you're hiding something. You can't be trusted. And so even if you just learn how to do that, and even look in the mirror, look in your own eyes, and speak to yourself and practice.
Yes. People don't. I've talked to some other young women my age, and they don't really look at themselves. If you stand in front of the mirror, do you really see yourself, or do you look yourself in the eyes? That's uncomfortable for people.
It is,
because they're not used to looking other people in the eye.
Right. That's true. That's true. And there's, oh my goodness, I have learned a lot that, when you're talking with people, I'm going to give you a little secret, a little wisdom nugget.
Okay, come on.
When you're talking with people and you look them in the eye, you can actually tell what kind of mood they're in and whether they like you or dislike you because their eyes dilate.
Really?
That's right.
So is the dilating meaning that they like you?
That's right.
Are my eyes dilated?
Yes.
Okay. Telling the truth. Wait, let me check yours. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, if they're not dilating, it doesn't really mean that they don't like you. It just means that they don't know you and they don't trust you, or, there's something that they can't connect, or because it could be just them, it doesn't mean that it's the other person, but they may have an issue with their emotions or how they feel, concerning that person or something like that. Yeah. So that's a little secret for you.
Thank you for that secret.
Okay, let's share this other one.
Can I read it?
Of course.
Okay. Most people do not listen with the... I was trying to say this earlier, but I could not get it out. Here we go. Here's the real point. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Stephen R. Covey.
Yes, that's right. And you know what? That's the problem right there. Most people. And so if you're guilty of that, all you got to do is just change that and start paying more attention to what people are saying to you. You learn more by listening than you do by talking anyway. And if you put yourself in the how do I say this? If you put yourself in a position to listen, and not always just ready to just, give that word out, you would think more about what you're going to say, or if you should even say that. You're gaining wisdom through keeping your mouth shut.
They say there's a quote that's like, you have 2 ears, 1 mouth.
Right.
Listen twice as much as you speak.
That's right.
I had a friend, a very dear friend, and when we first became friends, we loved hanging out with each other, but when we talking over each other. Just because there was so much we wanted to get out. But I can recall being in conversation with her, and she would be talking, and she would say something that would spark something in me, and I would stop listening to her, and I'm waiting for a chance to say. Not that I wasn't trying to do that, but when I learned to listen, I'm like, oh, what I have to say is not more important than what she's saying right now. And if there's a time, then I'll say that, but let me keep listening to her thought.
Right. Well, something that I've learned to practice doing, and because, me and my husband, we counsel couples a lot, I've learned to write my thoughts down. And
I've never done that before.
Yes, I learned to write my thoughts down so that I can listen. And then when it's time, it helps me to not forget what I'm going to say. And when it's that opportunity for me to speak, I got it on paper.
Yes.
And I don't have to think about that to listen. So that's a practice that you can use that will help you be a better listener. How about that?
How about that?
Okay, we got one more thing we're going to share, and then we're going to let you go for tonight. You want to read that one too?
When someone is speaking, face them and make eye contact. Pay attention to nonverbal communication. Don't interrupt. Listen without judging or jumping to conclusions, and avoid planning a response.
Now that's
that last piece.
Right.
Guilty.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
And you know what? If you just meditate on this, take a screenshot, meditate on this, and just keep it before you so that you would remember the proper ways of listening, so that you're not just hearing,
right,
but you're listening. And that will cause you to look like a wise person.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And not just look like a wise person, but you, as you practice that, you become a wise person. Right.
So is there anything that you would like to share before we end about it?
No, this was great.
Okay.
Good reminders.
Yeah. So we want to thank you for joining us for Tuesday Tea Time, and that we hope that you would apply the wisdom that was given tonight for 2024, the whole year.
Yes.
Be a listener. And if you got to pinch that mouth to keep it shut, do all that you can to not run off at the mouth.
Yes.
And use your ears more than you use your mouth. How about that?
Yes.
All right. So here we go. Here we trying to go. Okay. So Dorarena and
Teresa,
love you.
Love you.
And let's do this together.
Okay.
Walk in wisdom. Good night.